welcome to another session of Brainstorming FND Wisdom. And this is a special one because it's December, Christmas, New Year, reviewing what happened in 2025 and getting ready to set the intentions and use the power of our cognitive mind to design 2026. And I am here with two of my lovely partners, colleagues, teachers, students, because yes, we learn from one another. Rachel and Tanya, let us introduce ourselves. So I think it's always nice to say where are we in the world because we're an international community, and then our relationship to functional health. I always remind people, well, like we all are in different moments of our lives in different places of this spectrum because sometimes, like now, I have been talking about relationship ruptures. Like I feel like, oh my God, I'm in the side of dysfunctional relationships, what's happening? So it's like we're always navigating this spectrum of functional health. So I'm Dr. Velázquez. I do FND education. I'm right now in Brazil, in one of the retreat centers here, and yeah, I do education for FND prevention, FND healing, FND awareness, and it's a beautiful day to be with you. Tell me about you, Tanya and Rachel. Raise your computer hand or the physical hand.
Okay.
Go ahead, Tanya.
Hi, my name's Tanya. I am located in Perth in WA, Western Australia. I have been diagnosed with FND for more than a decade now. Met Dr. V a couple of years ago during some experimental education, and it has kind of been the puzzle piece that brought a whole lot of things together for me. Um, and it has extended into teaching and educating my support network, my family, and I've seen the impact of her work, not just in me, but how it affects others. And so I'm a huge supporter and advocate for it. But more than that, I advocate for FND and specifically around change in that field because it's way overdue.
Awesome. Did I hear you say that you're in Australia? Did you say that? Yeah.
Yep,
Okay.
Western
Okay. I
Australia.
Okay, I missed that part. So, experiential education is like, I really like how you put it, Tanya. Like, we bring lots of things together because we all have our areas of expertise. And Tanya, maybe in the second round, you can tell us about your professional background and your professional expertise. Rachel has her own. And then what we do is we put it all together because it's about integration. So all the wisdom, mind, body, emotions, spirituality, autonomic nervous system, all the psychological schools that are out there, we talk about them and try to mix them all because life is truly integrative, and separation is giving us a lot of problems where there is competition, or the psychological school is better than that, or I'm better than you, or right. No, like let's put it all together, and then we do that by experiencing it in our own bodies. This is a lot from Rachel's expertise department, experiential somatic experiencing, right? Rachel will tell us about her in a moment. So maybe we'll leave for the second round, Tanya, your professional background. Yeah, okay. Let's go with Rachel.
Hi, I'm Rachel Bixby. I live in Illinois, Northern Illinois, and I've been a physical therapist for 30, over 35 years. So, and I like your integrative approach. I was introduced, oh, sorry, my dog's Um, I was exposed to functional, FND before I knew a word for it. So in particular, in my field, chronic pain, fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue, these kind of slippery terms. And where most of my colleagues kind of step back, I, I step forward like, what is this? I'm curious. I don't know what this is. And over the years, so I've added different pieces in, got into myofascial release, became a yoga teacher, craniosacral therapist, somatic experiencing practitioner, and they all kind of circle around the same principles. And was introduced to Dr. Velázquez through somatic experiencing and her involvement with that. And I love her approach and have gotten to know her a little more personally, which has been lovely, through the retreat center in the United States. Yeah, and personally, I feel like lucky to, like as you age, bumping into some of these chronic things that can happen to you, like kind of having a more understanding, being able to navigate better, know the right people to seek out and things like that. And, my brushes with these things have been light, so that's been a blessing. But we're all human. We all experience these things. Changing of generations. I have new grandkids, so people are coming in, people are going out. So this is happening in my life right now. That's my share.
Thank you so much, Rachel. So for the second time around, I think I'm gonna go to the relationship ruptures topic because I consider you both very wise women, and we have gone through relationships with some wisdom. As Rachel say, the more advanced we are in our life experience and years lived, then we have more and more wisdom. So every time we have more to share. So I'm going to put that as the next topic, relationship ruptures, because I want to get your opinion on that, on what's happening to me in our community, let's say. But I want to highlight, Rachel, what you said. You mentioned a few bottom-up techniques, therapies, fields of study that are out there and need to be integrated. More people with functional illnesses and those who want to prevent functional health should do more. The bottom up, like yoga, like craniosacral, like getting a good massage done, like acupuncture, like somatic experiencing. It's top down, cognitive to the body, yes, but it has to be bottom up. Please, everyone get involved. Even if it's your partner, just give me a massage, right, Rachel? It can be, but then go also to a professional and go to a professional who has understanding on integrating everything. Because you may go to a massage or to a yoga class or craniosacral, and then your symptoms, because your body is desiring the healing to take place. So your symptoms may flare, or that day you may end up with some memories or some emotions, and you may not know what it means and how to organize the energy. Ask your therapy as the professional, hey, this happened and what does it mean? So if you have a professional that knows about integration, it will guide you about in the journey connecting body, emotions, mind, environment, and then you will be shaping your life towards greater health and enjoying, because many of these things are joyful to participate in, to learn. Rachel, you said I stepped forward. I didn't even know, right? The meaning, the words, I didn't even know it was so big. It is so big because all the organs, all the tissues in our body, they have a way of functioning. So functional illnesses and functional health is everything. It can be in the skin, it can be in the muscles, in the degree of tension and relaxation, fibromyalgia, chronic pain. It can be in your eyes. It can be in your ears. I'm receiving a lot of patients with mediumship abilities, with hearing loss, hearing things, tinnitus. Lots of people with mediumship skills and abilities that have been poorly understood and developed. So all the organs, all the tissues have a function, and then it's important to know what functional health is about. And Rachel, I want to congratulate you on stepping forward. And Rachel and I have been designing for over 1 year a program for professionals that now is being tested and applied in Spain. I submitted there a proposal, and we're going to continue expanding with Rachel to other English-speaking countries. Tanya can be on our team too, because we are teaching. It's a skills up program where we tell professionals to integrate knowledge. Okay, Tanya, tell us a little bit about your professional background, because this is like Empower Women Circle right here.
Sure. My professional background is, I think the best way to describe it is a bit of a mixed bag. Um, I think my professional background speaks volumes in a strange way to what represents my subconscious, in a way where I start things. And I've discovered that the reason for stop starting is my ability, which I've learned through this work that I do with Yadira, is the way I've now understand my brain, the way I now understand how I absorb information and the type of information, and how selective and discerned the level of discernment I use as a filter for what I allow to come in and process and then regurgitate out externally is essentially like a an internal communication process that I think works and overlaps in how the nervous system works and how it essentially works with the brain as well. So it's like it's like starting something, getting the best out of that environment. So the best way that I'll describe myself is I feel like I would be a support specialist. And I think the reason why I use that description is what drives me is to see someone else succeed. And I know that the psychological aspect of that is the bit that comes into people pleasing, you know, needing validation and all of that. And absolutely, I went through that journey because I had to understand. I never understood what was motivating me and what drove me. It was these internal processes that I had no idea controlled my behavior. And learning and being empowered through this work gave me the opportunity to kind of, and here's the paradox, dissociate from what is actually going on so that I can then recalibrate and get closer. So professionally, I've done things from finance into chaplaincy into social emotional stuff. Sorry, Yadira, are you putting your hand up?
Yes, I want to organize it in my own mind. This is so interesting, by the way, and I want to invite you to write a blog post to organize it also for yourself and for the world professionally. Uh, so it seems that you are discovering through your own experience a new career path,
Yep.
a new way of being, something that you're utilizing in your own life, and something that could very well be turned into service to others. So you started by describing this awakening that is happening within you. And I'm going to stay with the two names. Internal communication process is kind of turning what we have internally into communication for the world, perhaps, or teaching people to communicate their souls to the world or communicate their mission. And you're a support specialist within this realm, or you can be. Tanya, try to write it down and organize it.
Okay.
This that is happening. I invite you to do it and put it as a blog post in my website. Now, the second part that I want to know is tell me a little bit about your professional background too. Like, I don't know, since I was 18 and I started studying these things, like professionally, what have you studied? So now we know what you're doing and what kind of is happening and how all the wisdom and knowledge is merging into new career paths. Now, tell me a little bit about the baseline mainstream education that you went through for a moment.
I am going to ask a little bit of a favor, please. And it is live, so I do apologize. If I could just have a bit of a 5-minute break to say goodbye to my son, because he's
Yes,
hovering over
yes,
me,
yes.
because he leaves to Melbourne now and I don't see him till February. So if I could just have 5 minutes, I'll come back. And if you go on, that would be great.
Yes, yes, take your time and give him a hug and a big hello and tell him that I hope to have him back in one of the classes, that I miss him, that I celebrate him, all the best for the next year.
I will absolutely. So I'm so sorry. I'll be back.
Take your time.
Thanks.
Okay. So let's see, Rachel, where do you want to take it? Either you can, these are like things that I'm curious about. Either maybe I would be so happy to hear about like your own professional like awakening if you have had one, although you already mentioned that a little bit, or since I am going to share a little bit of my own relationship struggles that are happening in the community now, if you want to share, start by sharing like some pieces of wisdom or personal experiencing with relationships, or maybe a hot topic is like relationships during the holidays, right? The holiday dynamics, like anything around that would be so
Yeah.
nice.
I don't know if I have anything. Oh, I didn't want to look at myself exclusively. Sorry. I had to
Okay, let
switch
me
it back.
remove it then.
Whoa. I'm not sure I have anything like up in mind, to share, but what is coming to my mind is the emotional piece, how important it is in the work, in the medical world, and how we're trained to be so cognitive. Um, and how it's been a journey. And I really feel like I'm hitting my stride because it takes time, it takes time to integrate these things as you said. And I was very attracted to learning SC because of the titrated um, practice, right? Where some of the other things that I've learned were more big and explosive and, wow, they're sexy, the sexy approach. We're going to do it and it's going to be done, it's not really the way it works. It's just so subtle and slow and, gentle, usually. um, and, just how important I think that is. And I guess I'm also having a lot of fun, like playing with it. Because people are a little hesitant or maybe shy about expressing or opening, and you can kind of have fun with that, kind of maybe poke a little fun and, like laugh and it's an exploration, just and how I'm kind of hitting a stride with kind of figuring out how to kind of get in there without people, becoming defensive or scared or, whatever. Yeah. Is that what
So,
you're asking?
so many pieces of
Mhm.
wisdom. Um, I totally agree, yeah, the emotional piece, and it has to be for everyone, right? Racial, families, personal, but also physicians, professionals, right? Just consider the emotional piece and bringing it to our tool bag, perfecting all those processes that take place in the limbic system, in the emotional system, naming them, knowing what it is, exploring them in our own lives, and sharing them with others. Even speaking about the emotional limbic system processes in a manner Tanya mentioned, in a kind of dissociative manner where you just become a teacher speaking about general emotional
Yeah,
processes.
yeah,
This can be
yeah,
so much fun, is what you
yeah,
said. Have
yeah,
fun with it.
yeah.
And then you also said, I really like this, avoid activating the defense mechanisms in others, like go little by little, like, right.
Mhm.
Be careful, slowly, so they don't run away, they don't fight back, they don't hide. So also knowing and learning about the defense mechanisms and how they manifest in others, and practicing the good pace, all these functional neuroscientific concepts uh, can be applied in our day-to-day life, and it's fun, uh and it's something that takes time, like all things that we can
Yeah.
master, the piano, the violin, the guitar, exercise. So Rachel, patience and constancy, because also we need some constancy. I have people who come through the courses, two types of personality. One, they think, oh, I did 4 classes and that's it, I know it all, and then they run
No,
into trouble. No, it's like, this is why I'm building a community. We need to continue exchanging from time to time, some constancies, right, Rachel? If you are not,
absolutely.
because you're a therapist of many tools, you're a therapist, but for those who are not therapists, how do they practice? They need to continue practicing, right?
And it occurs to me that the dissociated understanding of these things is also a relationship rupture, with yourself, So um, I like to look at all of these things as relational to your own person, not only others.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. This was deep. A relationship rupture with yourself. Right, Rachel? This has to do with the ego. Huh? We need to
Yeah.
soften our ego to create a strong bonds. We need to rupture, right, who we
Yep.
are. Right, Rachel?
That's
This was
right.
so deep. Thank
Like,
you.
oh, yes, it kind of feeds into the family gatherings, right? At the holidays, because everyone knows the buttons to press on everyone. Also, a lot of times folks come in kind of really, I'm seeing like a seed with like a coating, like the ego's like the coating on the seed where you kind of have to drop in water and open up that seed casing. yeah, so it's interesting and can be challenging.
Yes, yes, totally. I wanted to share, but it's interesting. I don't see the share button now. Let me close this and see. Oh, here it is. Right, like the model ratio, remember that we studied when we were
Mhm.
investigating how to teach professionals. Rachel, and about this model that we studied, of course, besides the psychedelics, which is another great tool, but this model, because we learn the ego, we learn how the ego functions. Through these functional processes, we learn how the subconscious functions through these processes. It helps us acquire the cognitive understanding to look at ourselves, look
Mhm.
at others, and have the compassion, right? The compassion that I feel that appears with aging, with wisdom, to
Hopefully,
understand. Oh, hopefully, you're right.
hopefully it does.
Hopefully. Yeah, and the compassion with ourselves. Okay, I'm going to start because I don't know how your day is, how much time you have. So I'm going to start telling you a little bit about, because Tanya knows how the classes work. You and I have never been in a group with people with functional illnesses. You and I know, we did the professional group, which was a class with, no, there were patient demonstrations. And you
Yeah.
have your own patients with functional symptoms. So you know. And Tanya also knows. I'm going to start telling you. So, and you have been in Colorado in the land. So you know how the setting there is a little challenging, right? It's like last year. We don't know yet how 2026 is going to be, but 2025 was campground setting, composting bathroom, living in a trailer, little food, right? Food was controlled by Yadira, right? Who was doing the ceremonies. These things that were there that were uncomfortable, and the beautiful things too. Remember the aspen
I even
tree?
like the challenging things. I enjoyed those aspects, honestly. I'm sorry to interrupt. Go ahead.
Yeah, Rachel. So there was a couple there because remember also the beautiful things, the medicine. Remember, we're
Yeah.
eagles on the top of
Mhm.
the mountain, right?
The
The
sunrise.
med. I'm sorry, what
Mhm.
did you say?
The sunrise was so beautiful.
The
Mhm.
sunrise, is the aspen, the little squirrels, the
The little
birds,
crystal.
the crows, the hawks.
Mhm.
But there was a couple there, Rachel. And then they gave me a feedback, complaining about the structures, right? And that which I totally understand. Oh, Tanya is back. Great, great timing. So, okay, so I was starting to say what happened around relationship ruptures. So I have had various groups of experiential education, and some of the people from experiential education, some of the individuals who have uh, experienced functional symptoms who are trying to heal were there. And the setup was a rustic setup, campground, composting toilets, things like this, but there were also many beauties. Then there was one couple that went there and they gave me a review. It's like, oh my God, the facilities, right? Like composting toilet, this is not for me, which is I totally understand. But what I am not understanding, and I want us to kind of reflect and think together, what could be happening is that they block me. They block me like total, and I reply, oh, thank you so much for the feedback. I understand there is integration time. I welcome you to tell me, right, everything that you're feeling, because we had the 1 week, 1 month, 3 month integration conversation. So come and tell me, blah, blah. They block me from WhatsApp. They no, we're not participating in any integration. And what I suspect has happened is that they have been saying certain things to other students, and other students have also kind of disappeared and blocked me and left me. So it's the first time this has ever happened to me in this community setup. It also happened when I divorced my husband, that people were going behind the back. So it seems, first of all, I think it would be good to recognize that these kind of things happen, that people tend to go behind your back and saying other things. I don't know what's coming to your mind. And I think that's the entire story. Those are the dynamics that I'm kind of like, what's happening? But I see you smiling, so this is common. Like, tell me, what are you thinking? Raise your computer hand or your physical hand.
Well,
Go ahead, Rachel.
what comes to my mind is that it's happened, this is the second one, and that sometimes it seems like there's a repetition of something that maybe like you need to process or accept, like that you might not be for everyone, like everyone's not gonna like, this kind of thing, and that you will find your tribe, whoever resonates with you. And that's just a part of the process. But it just seems to me, like in my life and people that I've known, that thing that you don't want to happen, like will sort of come to you, just like keep coming until you kind of get okay with, it's not pleasant or nice or whatever, but just kind of accept and like, well, okay, not be as, take it to heart as much. I don't know if that makes any sense.
It makes complete sense. Yeah.
So I wanna, Tanya, yeah, you go in a second. I just wanna say how this is so interesting, right? Like accept that these things happen, that people may just not like you, or the setup, or yeah, and the ruptures. And it's painful, right? When we feel the pain in, and this may happen, right, to doctors and professionals too. Like, oh no, and this is also some ego there in myself. No, I want to be accepted by everyone. I want to be liked by everyone. I want to stay connected with everyone, right? This is an ego manifestation also in myself. Where is the pain coming from? It's from my ego that wants, it's the attachment to others, right? So this is so true. I thank you so much, Rachel. I have to work my
Well,
own more psychedelics. I'm gonna drink more psychedelics to destroy my ego even more.
well, also in your training, you're expected to be like right, like always right. Like as a doctor, you have the right answer. There's a right answer and there's a wrong answer, and you need the right one. And so this is kind of flying in the face of that. Like I didn't give the right answer.
That's so fascinating,
Yeah.
Rachel. If I can say something and speak to that is, oh gosh, it speaks volumes in my head because the perspective is different, right? So from a professional view, absolutely, I get that. From me, a patient, I'm like, bring on the fucking chaos. I love it. Bring me the gray. Let me operate in that gray. Let me figure what's going on, because I think for me, which again leans into even that professional career, everything for me is stop start. It's the birth of something, an idea, but it's on the back of a potential destructive thing that has occurred. So I feel like there's creativity in destruction, there's birth in death, I think it's all interconnected. And I think when it comes to relationships, it's exactly the same. And I think the lesson appears in your world until and through different people until you get it. Until you're like, oh, universe, that's what I'm supposed to get. And then you move on. And that's been so like the divorce, the family, everything is so on point. I had my ex here. So as this conversation started, it was boom, 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 because I wasn't expecting him to be here, picking up my son. My symptoms were absolutely flared up. And I was trying to like it was bubbling inside of me, and I was trying to contain it, and I couldn't. And he's gone now, and I'm like, woosah.
Tanya, what
Yeah.
emotion? Let me tell you, his ex-husband is handsome. And he looked caring. He looked caring. He participated in the family program, and he was like, "I want to do what's right for Tanya." And I'm like,
He's
"Oh, I called
very,
them a power couple." So Tanya, let's be honest. Let me ask you this: what this bubbling of symptoms inside you? What emotions were there? Be honest.
just wanted to fart and get the shit out of me.
To
It's
fight?
like, no, to fart. It was like
Hard.
indigestion,
Oh, to
like
fart.
physical symptoms that's bubbling inside of me that I was trying to, like, so that was the physical symptoms. The psychological ones, the mental ones were because it's layered, right? So where I am in life at the moment is literally I go to Cape Town and this is the last time I see them. I have, because of where I am in life, I have no fixed need to come back to Perth. So I'm open-ended with where my journey is going. So this essentially was the last time I'm going to see him for a long time. And it's taken a very long time to get here because it's been essentially almost 12 months to the day since the scandal of what happened had come out. Um, but to be able to sit here and I'm smiling at you and I'm like, Jesus, yes, thank you, I'm free, is a piece of healing that I could only have gotten through doing this work. So initially, the anxiety, the stress of him being here back in the environment has triggered so many things, but it's like 1,000 things running through my mind as I'm trying to concentrate here, needing to deal with my son as well. So it wasn't landing deeper where it needed to land with this conversation until I was able to interrupt that. And now that they're gone, I'm good.
Tanya, Tanya, are you up for a 5 minute real
Oh,
exercise? Tanya,
let me just see now my body temperature is
she's
getting hot.
already releasing, Rachel. She's already releasing through
Yeah,
her
It's
in
system.
already
real
happening.
time.
As soon as the voice starts, it happens.
Tanya, and we're talking about right, like ego, changing, transformation. Rachel told me, Yadira, just accept it. Okay, so I'll be a little bit more gentle, but Tanya, let us first review what happened when I asked you. I asked you kind of jokingly, Tanya, what emotions were there? And I said, your ex-husband, he's handsome and he was caring. And let me tell you, like sometimes I still think about my ex-husband and how much I loved him. And I still feel the love and I so many emotions. And then I asked you, Tanya, what was within you? And then you told me very nicely about the physical sensations, right? I kind of wanted to release and then what happened after you recognized the physical sensations, your mind kicked in. There was a little bit of intellectualization, a little bit of defense responses, the mind trying to protect you from feeling some of those emotions. You went a little bit to the past, you were smiling, you spoke about some of the difficulties. Now, with the permission of your mind, the permission of your body, maybe if you can just name one emotion, the one that is easiest in the surface. It can be sadness. It can be joy that you saw him. It can be love. It can be a little bit of hate for what he did. It's just energy, Tanya, just emotions. Tell your mind to befriend the emotions, to find peace and joy, and maybe connect to one that your body is ready to release through sharing it with us. Feel comfortable in the chair. Relax back if you want. Just notice the body. Maybe it's a little bit of fear.
There's I think no. Here we go. Okay.
Just one, just one. It's already there.
I feel the emotion it's a difficult one because I want the overriding one to be at peace, but I know that right under that is it's a deep void of sadness and disappointment.
Mm,
Because this
Tanya,
wasn't,
just
yeah.
stay there for a little moment.
Why is it when you do that?
There is no need to put the because right now. But you did it. Look at the layers. How beautiful you did it. In the top, there was a nice piece when you said, "Thank you, God. Thank you, God. I am free from all that struggle." There was a nice layer of a peaceful pond, a peaceful lake. And then you had the courage, your mind had the courage to go a little, you put on your snorkel, and then you went a little bit deeper, and then you said, Yadira, there's sadness there and disappointment. And then you can go to the surface again and feel again the peace, and then you can go deep and feel the void in the bottom of the lake. It's darker, but there are also fishes there. There may be some coral there. So you can go up and down. You did it.
Yeah.
You're navigating just energy, just sensations, just emotions. Your mind can talk as much as it wants. Your emotions too, your body. You're healing, you're healthy. I think I froze. I'm back, I'm
No,
back. Whatever you want to say, find comfort.
phew, I can absolutely feel the internal, like even, I don't know if you, like my body's even reacting, different parts of my body's eating up. Right now it's just all, yeah. Um, and I think I do this just to give me some sort of a grounding and safety. And I can even feel my voices changing as well. Um, so
Emotions there in the voice,
it's for a
maybe,
love
Tanya.
lost. It's grieving for a love that was lost, that I'd worked so hard to invest in. And for me, because I had sacrificed so much, I felt like where we were in life as a couple finally gave me the opportunity to maybe not be so in the driver's seat, but to have a bit of a break and sit in the passenger seat. But I didn't get that chance.
Yeah, now there is a nice dance happening between sensations, emotions, and the mind. You're talking, the reality, the mind is expressing, you're feeling the body, you're grounding. Hi, Tanya, that is so nice. I hope you do that during the celebrations, with your family, and that because we already did that. They know how it's done, so continue practicing with them, and whenever things appear, that's the way. That's the way. And thank you so much. Thank you so much for leaving this exercise. For the people who will come across the video, I just remembered that Rachel and Tanya, you met because Tanya, she came once or a couple times for the professional training course. It was a while ago, but you were together already. My internet is really spotty right now. I don't want to take too much time out of your schedule. Rachel, anything else you want to share? What do you think? Do you want to give your opinion to Tanya? Rachel has been married, happily married for 20, 30 years, Rachel. How is it, Rachel? I haven't been able to keep a relationship for more than 5 years. Tell me.
I don't know. No, I just really enjoyed. I'm trying to get out of the sun here. I just really enjoyed watching that. That was nice to see, like the physical, the dropping and the voice changed, the face softened, and you kind of like a dropping in. And I don't know. I don't know if this is true, but it seems like maybe having this meeting, it seemed like an inconvenience, maybe while your son was leaving, but maybe it was also kind of helpful to have a little container to hold, while you go through that. And it was uh, a pleasure, or it was felt sacred to kind of be a part of it. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Nice.
Thank you.
There is a mantra. I'm gonna share it with both of you that says in English and in Sanskrit, it says, if you don't see God in everything, you won't see God at all.
Yeah.
So yeah, right. In maybe the coincidence today, the hurt, the pain, the learning, the growth. And I'm an optimist and I always have hope that things will pass, that we will learn, that maybe sometimes how many couples they divorce or they separate, but then they reencounter years down the road. Or maybe like what is happening to me now. I divorced my husband and now I have a wonderful partner that does everything that my ex-husband didn't do that was making me suffer so much. So maybe someone better, even more handsome, even more decent, that won't have those problems and will have other better things. Maybe someone better will come. So especially Tanya, you're a spiritual. Okay. And I feel that right spirituality, being mantra recitation, being yoga, being whatever it is, lighting little candles, incenses, connecting to the wind, the sun, the earth, and the waters, the animals, doing service through our work, it helps. Tanya, anything else for final words? How are you feeling? Such a pleasure to connect with you. I miss you so much. How are you feeling?
Y- You know, it's it's actually 100%. This I have tried. This is probably the third one I've attempted to get to, and out of all of them, this by far is the most inconvenient one. But at the same time, the paradox to that was if I didn't have this while that was happening, it would have been a shit show. So and just before this happened, I slept. So my symptoms hit me. I slept. I woke up just before 10. and everything happened, but for some other reason, the goal was to get here for this moment. And so that's my lesson that I've learned, is that this is not about me. This is about something bigger. And no matter how much I try to control it, when I release control, I get so much more external control back, if that makes sense.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Well, to finish, 1 minute per person. One of the biggest goal of these conversations was to offer one word, a gratitude for something that happened in 2025 and set one intention for 2026. So just to be consistent, disciplined, and complete everything we intend to do. I'm going to share mine and you're welcome to share yours. In 2025, I connected with both of you and I learned and I became wiser and stronger thanks to the things that you have shared with me. So I want to thank God and the universe and the greater uh, designer of all the connections and encounters. I want to thank him and her, feminine and masculine energy, for having you in my life and for having connected with you. And for 2026, I want to make it a recurrent theme when we continue having conversations, even if it's once a year. Uh, and God help me overcome my attachments to people, but I want these women to be my tribe. Okay, that
Uh,
was me.
Rachel, do you want to go?
Sure. I hadn't thought of anything in advance, but I in 2025 was able to expand into more areas, and being that, deeper into my career, I really want to expand into less overtly like professional, more softer expressions of what I do. And it was wonderful to connect with Yadira, and particularly in person. I really did enjoy my time, warts and all. I loved everything about it, even all of the tougher aspects. So it was great. Um, and next year, I'd like to just keep rolling the ball, and find more and more ways to be of service in ways that are deeply meaningful. Yeah, and in alignment.
May it be
It's awesome.
so, may it be so. Now with your grandchildren, may you also like enjoy so much that connection, grandma, grandkids. You will do it, Rachel. Much health to your husband as well, to you, to your family. Thank you. Tanya.
Right. So 2025 for me was a very transformative, but also a separating year where I started to draw that separating line between really honoring who I want to associate with, who I want to work with, what values complement mine and vice versa, and who I want in my tribe. It's not just for work, it's with family, it's across the board. And 2025 was me becoming more articulate in that speech and speaking up for that. And 2026 is me now solidifying that and growing that.
Every
Yes.
year.
Woman.
There we go. Okay, ladies, it has been a pleasure. Thank you, Tanya. Thank you, Rachel. Let's stay connected. I'm gonna send you that mantra, and then I'll plan some things. I'll text you. Feel free to text me. May it be amazing. health, prosperity, joy, happiness, lots of hugs and kisses and good
Adventure.
food and resting. Yes. Bye now.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.